Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tera Vanachari. Jamuna Tera Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah, do you want to open this microphone? This is microphone just now. It's covering my face. Let it be as before. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai go Hare Bha, Hare Bha, Hare Bha, Ba Hare Bha. Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Astotha Satat Srimad Divine Grace is Confanacharya Srila Abhacharya Vinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavina Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Si Kahav Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Si Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Se Gaura Bhaktavena Ki Jai Si Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Syama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Srivindavan Dham Ki Jai Si Mayapanavadev Dham Ki Jai Si Jagannathpuri Dham Ki Jai Gangamaya Yamunamaya Ki Jai Srimati Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveda Bhaktavena Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the sum of devotees. All glories to the sum of devotees. All glories to the sum of devotees. All glories to Sisi Gauranga Ranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottama Devim Saraswati Vyasa Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nastra Payesvabhadrisu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavaiti Naisike. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 1, Text 41. The title of this chapter is The Activities of Maharaj Priravatra. So those of you who have been coming to the Delhi Temple Bhagavatam class regularly, you have been exposed to this story of Maharaj Priyavrata, and today's text apparently is the last, is the last text for this chapter. And the next chapter will be on the activities of Maharaj Agnidra. That is one of Maharaj Priyavrata's sons who eventually took over. So, Bhamam Divyam Manu Samcha Mahitvam Karma Yojajam Yaschakre Nirayo Pamyam Purusanu Jana Priyaha Bhamam Divyam Manu Sancha Mahitvam Karma Yoga Jam Yastakre Nirayo Pamyam Purusanu Jana Priyaha. Can someone try? Mataji's. Any more Mataji's? All right. Word for word translation, Brahman of the lower planets, Divyam, heavenly, Manusam, of human beings, Cha, also, Mahitvam, all opulences, Karma, by fruitive activities, Yoga, by mystic power. Jam, born. Yaha, one who. Chakre, deed. Niraya, with hair. Or pamyam, comparison or equality. Purusa, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anujana, to the devotee. Priyaha, most dear. So translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Confounded Acharya, Srila Abhacharanavinda, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: as a great follower and devotee of the sage Narada, Maharaj Priyavrata considered hellish the opulences he had achieved by dint of fruitive activities and mystic power, whether in the lower or heavenly planetary systems or in human society. Please kindly responsibly repeat. as a great follower and devotee of the sage Narada, Maharaj Priyavrata considered hellish the opulences he had achieved by dint of fruitive activities and mystic power, whether in the lower or heavenly planetary systems or in human society. So let's listen to the Papa's top purport with rapt attention. Srila Rupa Goswami has said that the position of a devotee is super excellent, that a devotee does not consider any material opulence worth having. There are different types of opulences on earth, in the heavenly planets, and even in the lower planetary system, known as Patala. A devotee, however, knows that they are all material and consequently is not at all interested in them. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Param Drishtva Nivartate. Sometimes yogis and jnanis voluntarily give up all material opulences to practice their system of liberation and taste spiritual bliss. However, they frequently fall down because artificial renunciation of material opulences cannot endure. One must have a superior taste in spiritual life, then he can give up material opulence. Maharaj Priyavrata had already tasted spiritual bliss. Therefore, he had no interest in any of the material achievements available in the lower, higher, or middle planetary systems. Thus, end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 5th canto, 1st chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Activities of Maharaj Priyavrata. Om Agyana Timirandasya, Gyanajana Salakaya, Saksuru Meditam Jena Tasmai, Sri Gurave Namaha, Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam, Stafitam Jena Bhutali, Swayam Rupam Kadamayam, Dadati Swa Padantikam, Vancha Kalpatari Vyacha, Kripa Sunambhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanambhyo, Vaishnavibhyo, Namo Namah. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Sri Vasari, Sri Gaura Bhaktivinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Pistaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Itinam, Namaste Saraswati Deva, Gaurabhani Vichara, Anirvesesa Sunyavadi. So, this is an interesting text and purport because it is so common these days that there is that spirit of artificial renunciation. People have heard about yogis giving up everything, moving to the forest. People have heard about kings giving up their kingdom and moving to the forest to perfect their existence. And so often also you find people tend to become artificially renounced. What are we going to renounce in this world? Everything actually is Krishna's belonging in this world, even our intelligence. So, in Kali Yoga, Falgu Varagya is very common. False renunciation is so pervasive. People try to become spiritual and they become artificially renounced. Renunciation is in the heart. Of course, it's also from without. But to be artificially renounced is not prescribed in the Vedic literatures. At least it's not prescribed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And so here we find the case of King or Maharaj Priyavrata, and we have heard the stories of how even the Supreme Lord of this universe, Lord Brahma, had to come down to meet him at the Gandhamandan hills, where he was receiving instruction from his spiritual master Narada Muni, all in the bid to try to convince him to take up from his father's kingdom. Swayambhuva Manu, Priyavrata, King Priyavrata is not an ordinary prince. He was the son of Swayambhuva Manu. So, think about it. Opulence, that is his natural inheritance. Money, rupees, heroism. In India it's very common, to find people, they joke among each other. Apne hero hai? So people want to become heroes. But Priyavrata, he was being begged to take up the crown of the heroship or heroism. So he was not artificially renounced. So we are talking about different types of renunciation, the two major types of renunciation, the Phalgu Vairagya and Yukta Vairagya. Rupa Goswami mentioned this in his Bhakti Samhita Sindhu. So, for those who have taken to the path of Bhakti or Rupanugas, we at the literatures of the Vaishnava Vedanta advocate Yukta Vairagya, not Phalgu Vairagya, not falsely renouncing everything. Oh, this is Maya. Oh, this is Maya. This is Maya. I cannot touch money. I cannot, no building. I like to live in a cave in the forest. No problem. You do that. But in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we don't advocate those type of false renunciations. Rather, Rupa Goswami says we should use everything in Krishna service. Why? Because everything actually belongs to Krishna. So, we don't tell people, well, you don't need education because, when you know Krishna, Krishna is everything. So a number of us have known Krishna for years. Prabhu, how many years you've known Krishna now? You've been practicing Krishna consciousness? 6 years. That's not, if you are going to university, you could have gotten your, if you start first degree in some courses, you could get your master's in 6 years. So that's a long period. So someone, if you study someone for 6 years, at least if you don't know them, if you don't know that person much, you have known that person to a very great degree. But the point is that when we come to Krishna consciousness, the idea is to be able to use whatever we have in Krishna's service with that higher understanding that Krishna actually owns everything, even our intelligence, he owns it. In fact, Krishna claims in the Gita that even of power, he is the prowess in man. Isn't it? I mean, like, Hiranyakasipu asked Prahlad, you small boy, I did everything to you to kill you, you couldn't be killed. So, where did you get this power? Where did you get this power? So, Prahlad simply, reiterated indirectly what Krishna mentions in the Gita. because his father had a lot of power. It seizes, the position of the demigods, push the demigods away, loot their boots, conquer the demigods. So he was very powerful. But he never asked himself, where did I get the power? He's asking his son because he was being so resistant to his evil change. Whenever you initiate a change, whether in an organization or in a family, there are bound to be people who will resist the change. So Prahlad, his father tried to change him to become demoniac like him, but he resisted the change to the maximum. So the father was surprised. He tried to kill him, he couldn't kill him. So he said, where did you get your power? So Prahlad said, the same source. Where you got yours? He was being polite. But in some cases, in their discussions, in the dialogues, Prahlad and his father's dialogue, in some cases he was really very unpolite. But in this instance, he was polite. He said, it's the same place you got yours. So, when we become involved in devotional service, automatically the power also, we are endowed with some potentials. Some power also comes along with our service to Krishna. The power that will enable us to execute Krishna consciousness. The power that will enable us to resist temptations. It comes along with Krishna consciousness. They are not separate because Krishna consciousness is all embracing. And we try to execute Krishna's instruction. That instruction is encapsulated with some power. It's encapsulated with some empowerment. And therefore, process of devotional service is simple. We're not saying give up your family, give up your wife, give up your children. No, we're not saying that. Rather, the scriptures, the version of Vedantic literatures advocate use everything in Krishna's service. Make Krishna the center of your activities. And you will be perfectly happy. Of course, if you choose to be brahmachari, a lot, over half of the work is already done. Your leg is already going into Vaikuntha or Krishna Loka. Because the most difficult thing to give up is that epitome of sense gratification. The highest epitome of sense gratification. It's so difficult to give that up. Why? Because we have been conditioned for so many billions and millions of years. What do we understand by conditioning? Professor Pavlov, he generated an experiment just to demonstrate what conditioning means. When we say we are conditioned souls, sometimes we don't even understand what we are saying. Now, Pavlov, this is a scientist who demonstrated what conditioning means. In his experiment, a dog was put in a cage. The dog was being fed. Each time they want to feed the dog, they ring a bell. And some scanning is done. They discover that each time they ring the bell before even the dog starts eating the meal, the dog will be salivating. So the dog becomes conditioned to eating based on arousal from ringing a bell. And now he went on in his experiment to demonstrate how even without food, just by ringing the bell, the dog didn't see any food, he'll be salivating. That is the meaning of conditioning. We'll be conditioned to materialistic life for billions of years. The body has been adjusted to that. The subtle body has been adjusted to that. The mind, the intelligence They have all been adjusted to that. Our emotions have been adjusted to that. And so when even we are told, no, this is not the proper thing, we say yes. But then we go into the improper thing. That is conditioning. So sometimes we think that devotional service is so cheap because we are performing it. We think it's so easy. And very often devotees fight with family members. They create animosity or some fracas in the family. But it's not so easy. If it is not so easy, what is the population of Delhi? Yes? What's the population of Delhi? 2 crore. How many people do we have on Sundays or at our programs, even during festivals? So we can't measure, we can't relate that to the population of Delhi. So if it is so easy, everybody would have taken it up. People have been conditioned in different ways. Therefore, we have to understand that to give up opulence, to give up sense gratification, to take to devotional service, it isn't that cheap and easy. At the same time, someone who has so much of opulence just gives it up, runs away from it. He abandons it. Why? He sees the implications in it. Even on royal roads, even on an express road, there could be an accident. Material opulence is like that. Once you're swimming in material opulence, there's nothing wrong with material opulence. Let's get these points clear. There's nothing wrong. Prabhupada wanted opulence to serve Krishna. So we can't say, oh, money is bad. No, money is not bad. We can't even say, oh, beauty is bad. No, beauty is not bad. So whatever opulence we have, there are 6 major opulences. So all of these opulences, we can use them. Whether we have knowledge, we have fame, we have money, we can use all of these. And even renunciation, for you to be renounced, that is an opulence on a higher dimension. Because if we don't have anything, for instance, if we don't have any food to eat, and then we're fasting on Ekadasi, it's fine. But you have so much of food to eat, and then you say, no, today I'm not going to eat. Today is Ekadasi. That is good. That is a powerful renunciation. Powerful sense of renunciation. But if I don't have anything to eat and I say, I am fasting. No, I am not fasting. I don't have anything to eat. So, the life of Priyavrata, King Priyavrata, is very important. It shows how someone could be swimming in an ocean of opulence. And it says, damn you. Let me get out from this place. So we find that even Lord Brahma came to beg him. Not just to give him an order. Lord Brahma, I read it through, and then Lord Brahma was persuading him. Lord Brahma is the epitome of persuasion. So he didn't come just directly to tell him, hey, I am Lord Brahma. You have to take up the kingdom, okay? No, he didn't do that. He started preaching indirectly, and then, he entered here, entered there. This is called tactfulness. A number of us, we could really make the whole world Krishna conscious, but we are not tactful. We want to go and tell everybody, Sarva Dhamma Parita Jamame Kam Taranam Vraja Aham Tram Sava Papebyo Moksha Ishami Masucha. You have to say that to Krishna, or you're damned, you go into hell. You worshiping demigods? You just abandon that, surrender to Krishna. Just now. It means we don't have tact. Read the story. You see what Brahma did to convince Priyavrata to take up the kingdom. Very persuasive, tactfully persuasive. So we have everything in our literatures. If you want to be an adept in persuasion, you can get find that in the Bhagavatam. Persuasion is a very high-powered skill in building relationships, in building communities. And we have a spiritual community. We are living in a community. We need persuasion, the skills of persuasion. So we should read, see what Brahma did. If we have that persuasive skills, a lot of the quarrels that go on, a lot of the conflicts that go on in our movement wouldn't be there. Because here, Lord Brahma came in to persuade Priyavrata to do something that Priyavrata initially didn't want to do. But he didn't come to order him. Look, I am the Lord of the universe. You do this or the highway. He didn't do that. So opulence. What are the 6 opulences? Yes? Knowledge, all knowledge. That is with Krishna. Krishna is all knowledge. I mean, those opulences of Lord Krishna, Krishna has them in full. But we, in the material world, we do possess a little bit of those opulences. So yes, knowledge, renunciation, yes. Power, beauty, fame, wealth, renunciation. So the brahmacharis, you have to understand that you have a very great opportunity to perfect your existence. You know, some people, I've seen a number of people, professionals, and then they complain, oh, I wish I made this movement when I was younger. I wish I made this movement before now. Because the complaint is that they are already engaged in so many activities, they can't really become detached. But now you find a case of Priyavrata. He didn't find any difficulty in the detachment. And how do we become detached? How do we become detached? Yes. Becoming attached to Krishna. But how do you become attached to Krishna? Yeah, Krishna gave a very simple stages. The primary stage of becoming attached. What? Who can tell us? Yes. That is correct, but what exactly did Krishna say in the Gita? Krishna mentions that by contemplating on the object of the senses, one becomes attached. So if you want to become attached to Krishna, to become detached from material situations, contemplation, thinking, contemplation. What we are thinking is what determines our future. Our thought patterns create our behavioral patterns. This is what Krishna said in the Gita. That is an exceptional Vedic psychological construct that is giving you an idea, or giving us an idea on how to become attached or how to become detached. And how to become detached? Again, is contemplation. But then, here the contemplation could be, you see the evil. you see only the evil of it. A devotee is supposed to see the good side of everything, okay? But here, if you want to be detached, then you have to see the evil of that very situation so that you don't get yourself entangled. If you are thinking about the good side only, it's so easy to get attached to it. But if you're thinking about the evil that's associated with it, the repercussions that will come with that, with your actions, then you think, whoo. So prayer about I was thinking, kingdom is just an entanglement. So he took shelter of Narada Muni. So he was an adept devotee of the Lord. But then there was a need for someone to take over. This is called leadership transition, succession planning or succession plans. And Lord Brahma has to also to play a role in that transition, leadership transition from Swayambhuva Manu to Prabhupada. And this is again, they look like simple constructs. I'm writing about a 200 paperwork on transition leadership. So what we're talking now, it looks like a simple thing. But these are heavy subject matters even in the schools of management. So we have the stuffs, and it seems for us that we just tell the story and then we go away. Yes, we get purified. But how would we relate all of these bulk of works written down for us to digest? How do we sell this to the people who are not coming to our temples? So again, some of us need to really become more in-depth. Like Rupa Goswami says, we have to scrutinizingly study the scriptures, the literatures. And so, Prabhupada Maharaj is a good example for anybody who is in opulence and is finding difficulty to become detached from his opulence. If you are a son of Swayambhuva Manu, Swayambhuva Manu is not just the president or prime minister of India or president of the United States. Oh yeah. But he was able to become detached, to become involved, to serve the Lord. See how service to Krishna is so attractive. So there are a lot of things to learn from this text. An important thing for us is that we can use everything in Krishna's service, including whatever opulence we have. If we are very intelligent, we should use our intellect to serve the Lord. If we are beautiful, we should use our beauty to attract people to Krishna consciousness. If we have the resources, the money, we should use those resources in helping to facilitate the expansion of the mission of Lord Chaitanya's movement, the mission of Prabhupada. Because ultimately, whatever we do is to facilitate the achievement or attainment of our own individual and collective goals and mission. And our goals in our devotional culture will be expedited, will be facilitated when we create strategies to be able to enhance the fulfillment of those goals. And so coming to the Bhagavatam class is one of those preeminent factors in terms of facilitation of individual achievement of our devotional goals. Because when you come to the Bhagavatam, Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu. When we hear the Bhagavatam, all those impediments to our devotional culture could become cleansed. So this is the beauty of the Bhagavatam. When we are doing something, we should understand why you have to do this. Why? For what reason? This is why we have to do it. It's for our own purification. Knowledge is there, But it also, just by hearing the Bhagavatam or by speaking the Bhagavatam, we get purified. The speaker, the hearer, they both get purified. So, there's no problem. We should become Rupa Nugas, follow the footsteps of Rupa Goswami, use all of the opulences we have acquired on this planet in serving the Lord. And we will not be entangled in whatever way in material enjoyment. We will become good followers of Priyavrata Maharaj. Are there some comments, some questions? Yes? Any comments or questions? In the absence of, okay. Do you have you don't have another mic? You cannot ask him to speak loud because he's not a microphone. His head is not good and you ask him to speak loud. He's not a microphone. I remember what Prabhu, what's his name? I can't remember his name. What Prabhupada Disciple. He's sick. He was giving a class in Mayapur. And then he was, because he doesn't have even the strength, he was just speaking so lowly, and somebody was saying, "We're not hearing you." He said, "But this is all I can do." Okay.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, I was just wondering, like, if you could share something about, like, what was your most memorable moments with His Holiness Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj?
Oh, you will not like it. You will not like it. You want to hear?
Yes, Maharaj.
So, all right. I remember one time I was his regional secretary. So then he came. So I was going to travel with him. When he comes, he travels to all of the temples in the country. That time I was in Africa. And so, but then he had a secretary. So that's why, this is where I said, you will not like it. He had a secretary, a female secretary, very beautiful lady, super beautiful lady. So, at that time, I was a brahmachari. I was a very tough, rugged brahmachari. So, but then I was to travel with him and the secretary. So we had to travel with a Pojo wagon. Yeah, one seat behind the driver, and then another seat behind. So, being a brahmachari, no association with women. So when I came into the car, I went to sit at the back. He normally would sit with the driver in the front. So the lady, the secretary, was sitting behind the driver. So being a brahmachari, I went to sit behind. So then he came down. We were going to travel. So he came down, and then he saw me in the car, right at the back. And he said, "Oh, Vasudeva, come and sit with Ibanwati here." So I sat with that lady, his secretary, all through the journey. We were going to different temples. Okay. So that is a memorable experience. So sometimes I'm in Mayapur, and I see how the brahmacharis are really like superlatively protected. There are barricades here and there. You can pass through even the road and all these things. Women, you cannot. So it is good, but the point is, if you have to go out to the west to preach, what do you do? Okay, suppose you're sitting in an airplane, and there are 3 seats in the airplane. You're sitting right here, and on this side there's a beautiful white lady. On this side there's a beautiful light. You tell the airline attendants that, hey, come here. I'm a brahmachari. Get these people out of this place. Are you going to tell them that? So we should be practical. We should prepare our devotees to go into the war front. Yeah. He prepared us in that way. Yeah. Bhakti Swami, he prepared us in that way. So when I was in Africa at that time, it was tough. It was really tough. But if you survive it, you can be a hero anywhere in the world. Yes, bro. Yeah, that's true. Chanting has always been intense, and the point is that we will be tested at any moment, whether we want to salvage ourselves. And see, again, back to Africa, when I was in Africa, like the temple where I joined, there was this big building, 1, 2, 3, 4 floors or so. So temple hall was downstairs. And the female brahmacharinis, they were staying on the top floor. The same staircase that the females, these beautiful girls and the handsome boys, will pass through to Mungarat. Oh yeah. So if you survive, you can be a hero anywhere in the world. So that's why I said you will not like it, you know? All right, it's already 9 o'clock. Srila Prabhupada ki.
सेटिंग तो हो ही जाएगी